Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for November 27th to the 24th. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me. With each breath, just dropping further back into yourself, back into our beautiful bodies, into this present moment. And I invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment, knowing that that tree root is providing you with a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. And my intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, this week of November 17th to the 24th, 2023. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all of those listening, now and in the future, to be present and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction. I'd also like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us as we do this reading, creating a sacred container across time and space so that everyone who is part of this reading is held in a beautiful way. Set the intention for clarity, for wisdom, for healing, for transformation, for peace, for light and love. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. Okay, Creator, what is it that we need to know this week for our highest and greatest good so that we can be at our best and serve in our highest capacity, holding love and light within ourselves and seeing it and evoking it from each other? What is important for us to know this week of November 17th to the 24th, 2024, please? Okay. It's the last of my roses, or maybe the last. They keep coming, so. The Princess of Hearts. So princesses are pages in other decks. They indicate new beginnings. This is sitting, of course, in the past position, which reminds us of information, things we know, things we've integrated, aspects of ourselves that are relevant to the present and the future going forward. So here we have the Princess of Hearts. She's reading a letter with great enthusiasm. And there's this sense of as I said, it's like a fresh beginning on the level of the heart. New information that is changing how we're being in our hearts. This is important. This new openings on the level of the heart is important for us going forward. We've done it before. We've had openings on the level of the heart before, new beginnings on the level of the heart. It's inspiring, it's enlivening, it's joyful. It opens us in new ways to new possibilities. And it would be helpful for us to draw that into our lives at this time, for our good and the good of everyone with whom we interact with. This card is relevant here now. So new beginnings on the level of the heart. If we seek them, we will find them. And goodness knows we could use some good heart energy at this time. The present card is the card of Judgment. Once again, we have the Judgment card, Major Arcana. And this card, the higher octave of it, is Discernment. Judgment implies that we're making somebody else wrong. And we're not here to make other people wrong. We're here to discern what is appropriate for us. What is in our lane? What is it that we want to be experiencing? Where do we want to be going? We're all here having different experiences. We're all here as different aspects of the God consciousness, the central life force of the universe, having a human experience. We cannot know what another is here to experience or to manifest or to go through. It's not ours to determine. What's ours to determine is our own path, our own wisdom, and it's really important to remember this. We each have a different journey to walk. We each have different obstacles and hurdles to overcome. And this card is reminding us of that we are here to practice awareness of ourselves, who we are, why we're here, and where we're going, to gather information from our environment, and from that information to discern where we want to go. How do we want to live? Where do we want to move ourselves? Who do we want to be? It's all very, very important, but it's from the inside out. Yes, we gather information from the external, but we make these decisions and these discernments from the inside out. So that's what this card is reminding us. And we notice this hand is reaching up through the darker, denser layers up into the rarefied realms of spirit, of light, of beauty, of clarity, of wisdom. This is symbolic as well. Our inspiration, our intentions need to be moving us from density to more light. Inevitably, this is what we're all going through at this time, but our intention and our striving, our personal desire to be more, to be a clearer expression of our life force, of our uniqueness, because we are all here unique in this lifetime. We're not here to be the same. We're not here to judge others for what they're doing, but to offer perspective and opening and our own reflections. By being clear about who we are and why we are the way we are, we inspire each other. We help each other. We provide information to others because we're all part of the same one life. One life force having a variety of life experiences through each one of us, and one collective life experience where we are here as cooperative components in each other's experience, providing information, providing insights, providing inspiration, providing warnings. We are here for each other. I may look at your experience and go, yeah, that's not for me. But I don't need to make you wrong in the process of your decision. I need to come back to myself and say, yeah, okay, my journey is mine and I'm focusing on this and I don't need to go in that direction. As one of my spiritual teachers used to compare it to, when we're at the buffet, a buffet of food, we don't stand at the egg or potato salad and yell no at it because we don't like potato salad until they take it away. We simply move towards the things we want and put those on our plate. It's similar to this. This is the same kind of quality. We can use the contrast to direct us to what we want, but we don't need to stand and shout no at it. Which is interesting. It's interesting. Okay. The near future, the possessiveness card, the Four of Pentacles. I always find this card very amusing because, of course, we have this woman here and she's naked and she's with her pile of stuff and she's looking around over her shoulder because she's afraid somebody's coming to get her goods. And I think it gets kind of humorous. But anyway, this is our near future. This is the energy we're moving towards. And this is this contracted quality where we forget we're more. We forget we're more than just a material being. And we get hung up on holding on to our stuff and on being fearful that people can take our stuff from us. Okay, on the material level, yes, things can be taken away, but we are spiritual beings. We are eternal. We are here having an experience, and we will go on after this experience to have others. This life experience is precious and unique, which is why we need to make the most of it and to stretch and reach for our best. But it's remembering that we are so much more, that we are powerful, masterful co-creators with the life force. We're here to experience that generative, co-creative ability, to really indulge in it and to savor it and appreciate all that it means. Doing it in our lane, in our way, moving in the direction that we're called to, our yes, as you know from other recordings. So this near future, it's just reminding us not to get too material, not to get too contracted, not to get too convinced of this small human life being all there is. It's just a reminder to breathe when we find ourselves there, because we all do. We all do it. We all forget how divine we are. We all forget our largeness. We all forget the broader, wiser parts of us. So we breathe. We come home to our humanness. Yes, we are human and we are so much more. And we do that through the breath, coming home to our bodies, realizing that our mind has gone off somewhere and gotten attached to something and we need to bring it home, bring it back to us. Take that deep breath and reevaluate. So when we find ourselves contracted and thinking that this is all there is, and being in fear and panic and doubt and uncertainty, give yourself permission to take a deep breath. Take yourself out for a walk. Plug into nature. Give yourself an opportunity to just reset. Reconnect with the broader, wiser part of you. Allow that to permeate your being, your cells, all aspects of you, so that you're coming at life from that broader, wiser place. We all need to do this. We all need to remind ourselves, I'm totally there too, and it's important. And let this broader, wiser part of us guide us into our highest expression, our highest discernment of what is appropriate and what's next for us. Because we have choices in front of us right now. And ultimately, we're the ones who make those choices, and we need to remember that. The choices have to come from the inside out rather than the outside in. And the foundation card. For this week, we have the card of defeat. So you'll notice. There we go. Emergency warning system. As we pull the defeat card. And I had it on Do Not Disturb. Okay, 5 of Swords. What does this card indicate? I want to draw your attention to the fact that this person is not in a crumpled heap on the ground, which would imply defeat. This person is standing on the purified rose of desire and is facing the incoming energy, is facing the opposition, is facing the challenge that is coming towards them. But you'll notice that these are golden blades or swords that are coming towards the individual. They could be rays of light. It's swords, so we think of it as swords, but often it does look like rays of energy coming towards. They're golden, meaning they are in service to us. They are for us. It is important to us. And so this individual is standing on the purified rose of desire, facing this incoming energy, knowing that they have what it takes. And they're being challenged by it, certainly, but they are persevering despite it. So again, purified desire. Now, what does that mean? Purified desire is not the desire of the animal nature that can sometimes dominate us and, push us to do things that are not necessarily appropriate for our highest and greatest good. Purified desire is that pushing through, that desire to be more, that desire, that thrust that is within us to strive to be more. That's that quality of energy. It's a striving, a desire to be greater than we are. It's a desire to reach our divine potential. It's a desire to be a clearing for love and light. That energy, that thrust, that upward motion of energy within us from our heart outwards is what purified desire is all about. It's loftier than our animal, passions. Let's put it that way. So from this place of purified desire, we have the resources, the ability, the capacity to face what is before us and to do it well. So this all is the position of foundation, why we're having this reading this week. Coming back, yes, there's a lot going on the planet. There's a lot that is very upsetting and distressing and worrying. And as we've talked about before, we can't worry enough to change anything. Worrying is a futile emotion. Fear is futile as well. We need to come back to the love in our hearts. We need to come back to well-being. We need to come up that emotional scale to the best of our ability, even if it's just one step up. And from that shifted energy exist. To pull ourselves up to the best of our ability, realizing it's all for us. However dreadful and horrific and inexplicable, there is always something good in everything in life for us. Even the hardest, darkest, most despicable aspects. There is something there for us to glean, and to make good from. It's all for the good. So we need to remember that as we're going through and about our lives in this week, as we're witnessing what's happening in the world. Realize that your peace is what's going to nourish peace on the planet. Your love is what's going to nourish more love on the planet. So cultivating this to the best of our ability. And astrologically, it's a very intense month. There's astrologers on YouTube. You can go and see them. Pam Gregory is one of my favorites because I like the frame she puts on the astrology. It's positive. It's empowering. There are many who go into the maybe more despairing perspectives, and I don't subscribe to those because, once again, being in fear, being contracted is not serving any of us. And that's what this quality of energy is about. This one here is about that contraction energy. So just remembering when we find ourselves here, we can cultivate a new heart opening. We can cultivate more love and light on the planet. We can cultivate it through our desire, our striving and reaching to be more, to come at life from that heartfelt place of love, of generosity, of appreciation, of care, of compassion, of kindness. So, so important for us to embody these as much as possible. And before we respond to each other, itchy nose, we need to take a moment, take a breath, and come back to our heart so that we're coming into communication with others from that best place as possible. And the foundation card reminding us, purified desire, this striving, this yearning within us for the good, letting that nourish us and carry us as we navigate these challenging and dark times, as we shake our heads and wonder at what is going on the planet when it seems so dark and so unnecessary. We can't know what anyone else is going through. We can only know what we are going through and why. And even then, we don't often get the why. But what's important is to stay in our lane and to stay centered and peaceful and kind and loving to the best of our ability. And it won't be easy. We'll all have our moments, but then that's the gift of being human. We can have compassion for ourselves and for each other as we have those human moments. And in the meantime, sending love, sending peace, being grounded and peaceful and open ourselves so that we can be as supportive as possible, even if we are thousands of miles away. Okay, so let's go to the card to grow on for this week. Remember, when you're feeling fearful, small or contracted, believing the stories as they're coming towards us. If we understood that this was a renovation of life and that the renovation had to go through upheaval, we have to take the old kitchen out before we put the new one in, as Pam Gregory often mentions in her video. We have to go through the renovation. And part of what's happening on the planet is this incredible upswelling of intense emotion, intense upset, intense passion, intense feelings. There's a lot that's here that needs to be healed. So how do we do that? Well, like we were just talking about, come home to yourself, come home to your heart, come home to the striving, come home to being a clearing for peace. When you're feeling contracted and small, breathing into that, creating space, creating life, creating movement and circulation, getting out into nature, being as clean and clear as you can be within yourself to be a clean and clear support for the world. And you don't have to take it all on by yourself. We're doing this together. That's the amazing thing, is this dramatic contrast that we are living through is waking us up to appreciating what we want. The contrast is helping us to distinguish we don't want war anymore. We want peace. We want love. We want kindness. We want tolerance. We want respect. We want well-being for everyone. Healing and well-being, beauty, harmony. This is what this contrast is lighting up. And that's the old paradigm that's playing itself out. And it is intense. It is. But if we follow this path forward, we can navigate this. We can get through it smoothly. Yes, we're going to have our moments, and it's okay. Keep the love going in your heart. Nourish it as much as possible. Strive to be the best you can be. Hold the intention. Hold the light. and be in that purified desire of the good for ourselves and good for all life everywhere, knowing we're a cooperative component of that. Okay, so what do we need to know, Creator, this week for our highest and greatest good? How can we be of the clearest light, the clearest love, the clearest well-being? How can we support that on the planet at this time, in these dark times, these challenging times? How do we move forward, please? What is most helpful for us to know so that we can stay in a beautiful, clear, heartfelt space for our good and the good of everyone with whom we share this path on life? Okay. The Tower. So the energy of what we were just talking about. The old has to go before the new can rise. Now we need to appreciate that the new is already all around us. It's just a matter of turning the channel, so to speak, of refocusing our energy and attention on the good. There are wonderful people everywhere on the planet who are coming forward with solutions, who are living into the new possibility. I just want to put that out there so that you don't fall into despair. And the Tower, the symbolism of the Tower, which is a major arcana, part of our soul growth and our evolution, personally and collectively, because that is the intention of this reading. Lightning, the lightning of truth, strikes the Tower, which is knocked to its foundations. And why? Because the Tower is out of integrity. It's based on the symbolism of the Tower of Babel in the Bible. That idea that humans thought they could do it better. They were going to build this tower to God. It was a desire that wasn't purified, so to speak, that was motivating that project. And as a result, according to my understanding of the story, it wasn't pure. It wasn't clean and clear. It wasn't an aligned and congruent thing, and so therefore it had to come down. So this is what the Tower card is based on, is on that story. The Tower, that construction which is out of integrity, needs to be brought down to its foundation so that it can be rebuilt from a clean, clear, and congruent place. So our card to grow on this week is reminding us that we are in the renovation phase of life, of our world, of our community, of humanity. The structures that have been dominant for the past 5,000 years or so need to go. We need to switch into a different frequency. It's more feminine. It's more congruent. It's about each of us living from the inside out, being part of community, bringing our gifts to bear, and working together, not so that everybody is the same, but that each of us in our uniqueness is thriving and bringing our good to the collective. So this is our card to grow on this week. There goes our candle. We need to just stay mindful of this, that as the world is churning and these big events are playing out and the energy is playing out behind them, these big egos and these big leaders and these intense fixed positions are being unraveled, so to speak. It is for our good. This challenging, difficult time means that we're going to move into something better. And as I said, as we first chose this card, to remember always that there are those who are holding this new frequency on the planet. And we are part of that collective. We may not have it all figured out. Nobody does. That's why we have unique and amazing individuals, each bringing their piece to life. But as individuals who are choosing to be a clearing for love and light on the planet, we are part of the new. We are part of holding the light. We are part of drawing the new and the good towards us, which is why I can't reinforce enough how important it is for us to stay centered, peaceful, grounded, using our tools to go there as much as possible, to stay as mindful and present as possible, to be as masterful as possible, to strive to the best of our ability to be clean and clear and whole and loving and kind and respectful and compassionate, even as we navigate these times. And it's going to be very volatile, as I understand it. There's a lot of this kind of conflict and intense energy. And if you're finding yourself in that place, take care of yourself. As I said, get out into nature, go hug a tree, go be someplace natural, and perhaps give yourself some space away from the intensity of conflict. Come back to your heart, because when we are in our hearts, we respond rather than react. And that's where we need to be, from a high, lofty, clean and clear place, to the best of our ability, being kind with ourselves for being human, because, well, that's the reality, eh? So this week, as we continue to see intensity in the world, to stay centered and peaceful. Being a clearing for peace, being a clearing for love, being a clearing for light, sending love and light out into the world. You meditate on the planet surrounded by a pink bubble of love and light. And if you can't get there yourself, ask for help. Ask your broader, wiser self, your guardians and guides, your guardian angels, whatever it is that you hold and believe in, ask for help and give it over. That was something that was said to me as I was being raised. I grew up in the Catholic Church. It's like, give it to God. Hand it over to the Supreme Being, to the power that is beyond all of us, that is part of all of us and beyond us, so that when we are in our humanness and we can't, it's okay to give it over to God and ask that God take care of it while we deal with ourselves. So hopefully that is helpful as we continue to navigate these really interesting and intense times. Remembering it's all for us. Remembering it is taking us where we want to go. It's just tumultuous in the process. And if we are in a space, I've been saying this for weeks, if we are privileged enough to be in a peaceful space, please, as much as possible, don't let yourself get pulled off center. Don't let yourself be pulled off by the stories you're seeing in the media and the upset and the turmoil. There's so much of that in the human heart right now. We need each of us to stay as peaceful as possible, as grounded as possible, as loving as possible, as compassionate as possible. So as we here, certainly where I am, are living in relative peace and well-being, it's our opportunity to be a clearing for those who aren't in those spaces, to send love and healing and light and well-being and solutions, knowing that we're all in this together, and that if we focus on our good and we keep focusing on our path forward, we are adding, because who knows, you might have the solutions that we're seeking. You may have the peace that's needed next. You have to keep going on your journey because you're an essential part of our collective human evolution. So please don't let yourself get sidetracked for long. If you are, come back to your heart, come back to your knowingness, come back to you, your yes, your journey, and keep walking that path, because we're all needed right now on deck. Looking towards developing our skills, our gifts, our abilities, and being that clearing for that good on the planet. I think I've said enough. Creator, nice deep breath. Thank you for this opportunity to gather and to have this reading once more. I ask for guidance and support, wisdom and discernment for each and every person who tunes into these recordings. May they get what they need. May they receive the wisdom and the discernment and the information they require to be at their best, to be their most congruent and loving and kind and healing and helpful and expanded and wise. May they tap into that broader, wiser part of them and hold more of it in their field as they move through life, touching other humans and enabling them in turn to hold more love and light. I send love and peace, healing and transformation to those areas on the planet that need it most. I send kindness and compassion and well-being and mostly love to those who are suffering. May they find light. May they find love. May they find what they are needing to transform, to pivot, to move in the direction of more hope. And may the leaders on this planet wake up and realize that we are all one, and that what is most important is to strive to become more, to support each other in becoming more, and to end the suffering, to end the strife, and to work together to create peace and beauty and well-being on this planet. There is enough for all of us. Help us to reframe our needs, our desires, so that we're coming from a pure, clean, and clear place. And help us to support each other in being our better selves, calling it forth from ourselves and from each other, simply by being clearer and striving to be the best we can be within ourselves. I am so grateful for all the help that we are receiving. I am so grateful that we have the ability to have these distinctions and to rise above the noise and to be a clearing in the chaos. I'm grateful for you. I want to thank you for being here and thank all those who help us as we continue on this incredible journey of humanness in these amazing times. I wish you a beautiful week. Much love and light. Stay strong, stay clear, stay grounded, stay peaceful. We are doing it. Much love and light. Take care. Talk soon.